This is Aoi-chan. She's your new friend. She's a bit small, but she's 5. Be nice to her, okay? Aoi, about this part.
Ah, that's in the reference book. Just copy it word for word. Of course you know that, President. You've got the whole thing memorized, huh? From the time I became aware of my surroundings, I was always starving. Back then, it was just constant pain. I was left alone by my parents, and the occasional sweet bun was my only food. Mama, Papa. Apparently, my parents were out partying, leaving me behind. If things had stayed that way, I probably would have died from malnutrition before long. But fortunately, that didn't happen. Someone in the neighborhood noticed I was being neglected and called child services. As a result, I was rescued by a caseworker and hospitalized right away.
Malnourished and underweight. It seems they hardly ever gave him proper meals. Poor kid.
A few months later, I was discharged and placed in a children's care home.
This is Aoi-chan. She's your new friend. She's a bit small, but she's 5. Be nice to her, okay?
Aoi Saijo. That's my name, but I couldn't remember the last time someone actually called me by it. Back then, the world still felt gray and faded. Even as a child, I sensed I'd been separated from my parents, but deep down, I only wished one thing. I hope this time it won't be painful. Lost in thought, I didn't even notice the other kids approaching me.
Wow, so cute! I'm Sakura. Nice to meet you. Oh, here's some candy.
She was beautiful. Just like that colorful candy wrapper she forced into my hand, the world suddenly felt full of color. I'm Takeru. If you're 5, that makes you the same as us. It was my first time meeting the twins, Sakura and Takeru Kusumi, who had become my closest friends. Nice to meet you. I remember I wasn't used to talking, and the words didn't come out right. That last test was the worst.
You really need to study more, Takeru. You're going to high school, right?
Maybe I'll just work after middle school. No way. You've got to at least finish high school. I'll help you study, so let's work on it together.
Oh, I want to help too. I'm not as bad as Takeru, but math's kinda tricky.
Sure. Let's all study together when we get home.
Self-study, huh? You're all so diligent. When I was your age, I just messed around.
Mayumi-sensei, please don't say that. You should be pushing him harder. Takeru's in trouble for high school. It's fine if Aoi's helping. He's the top of the class.
Why are you the one bragging? Always the amazing one.
I can't do sports like you two. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Back then, I was having fun every day, and those early memories of hunger were already fading. We got into the same high school, and before we knew it, we were naturally talking about the future.
Do you have a dream for the future, Ai? I kinda want to just stick with my current part-time job.
I think I'd like to get a qualification while I'm still in school. You totally got this. As for me, way in the future, it'd be fun if the 3 of us did something together.
Oh, I like that idea. If we save money together, we might actually pull it off.
Then we should start thinking about what that something is.
Oh, you 3. If you're ever in trouble, don't hesitate to come back, okay?
After graduating high school, we had to leave the care home. Mayumi-sensei saw us off, holding back tears.
Come on now, don't cry, Mayumi-sensei. You always do this around this time of year.
We'll come visit once we've settled down. Yeah, it's not like this is goodbye or anything. I mean, it's just allergies.
I'm relieved you're living together. You've been together since you were little, after all.
To save up for living costs in our dream, we all started working right after graduating. We had totally different jobs, but every day, we came home to each other.
It's more freedom than back in the facility, but just the three of us. It's kind of lonely.
Meals are always quieter without the little kids around. We gotta get used to this new lifestyle fast. And time passed. We turned 23, a few more years after becoming adults. Hey, isn't it about time we actually started something? Takeru suddenly said that out of nowhere. But I think, without needing to say it, we were all starting to feel the same way.
Sounds good. We've saved up some money too, so what'll it be?
I'd like for us to open a cafe together. Not just any cafe, but one that supports kids through a non-profit. What do you think?
A non-profit? Kind of like a volunteer group.
We were relatively lucky, but even then, the choices after leaving the home were limited. That's why I want to create a hub that supports care homes and their graduates. I like it. I work in food service, so I can handle the cooking. Takeru agrees immediately. Then I turn to Sakura.
Yeah, I'm in. I work at a maid cafe, so I've got the know-how. Hey, why don't we make it a concept cafe? Those are totally mainstream now and get good foot traffic.
Not a bad idea. Okay, I'll handle the application. What do we need to prep? I guess it's different from a regular business, right? To register a nonprofit, you need 3 directors, 1 auditor, and at least 10 members in total. 10? We're hiring that many right off the bat? No. For nonprofits, members aren't salaried. As long as they attend the annual meeting and help decide direction, that's enough. In fact, even directors and auditors can only get paid if they're within 1/3 of the board. So it's basically like recruiting volunteers. I think we can reach out to other care home grads. We'll take care of the director roles. The tricky part is the auditor. But I've got someone in mind at work I want to ask. We gathered enough people, consulted with the authorities, and held our founding general meeting in a rented space. As planned, the 3 of us were chosen as directors, and I was appointed chair. Alright then, let's make this happen. Next, for the auditor, I plan to ask my former colleague, Kawamura-senpai.
Nice to meet you. I'm Hitomi Kawamura.
Kawamura smiles faintly. She has a slightly unique vibe, but she's a good person. If we have majority approval... No objections. Alright, since it's unanimous, Kawamura, please, take on the auditor role.
Got it. Since my cute junior is asking, I'll do my best.
Now that the officers have been chosen, next, I'd like to gather ideas for the cafe concept. If anyone has suggestions, please raise your hand and share.
Yes! A safe choice would be a maid cafe, right? The guys can be butlers. I don't think the outfit should be too provocative. This is still for social contribution. We should watch the skirt length.
Then maybe authentic British maid uniforms would work. As the lively discussion continued, more members raised their hands.
I think a boys' maid cafe would be great.
What? That's way too suggestive.
Huh? And your reason? Because he's been too cute since forever.
Ha, true. Why are you agreeing? Actually, when we first met, I thought Aoi was a girl. She was my first crush. Ugh, I really didn't need to know that.
Oh, yeah. I accidentally introduced her with a Chan at first, too.
You did what?
It's definitely a fun idea, but we don't really have anyone else who could do that.
Else? I'm not even a boy's mate either. Things got a little chaotic, but in the end, we settled on the safer butler and maid cafe idea. The shop theme is a mansion that supports kids' dreams. The cast will welcome guests as masters or madams, while supporting the future of kids from care homes.
Huh? That's a pretty solid concept.
That was the beginning of our nonprofit, Hope Cafe. Later, we worked on a huge pile of application forms, but had fun doing it together.
Oi, about this part.
Ah, that's in the reference book. Just copy it word for word. Of course you know that, President. You've got the whole thing memorized, huh? As I opened the right page for Sakura, Takeru teased me. We should be able to finish the documents today. After that, as long as we get the bank loan, we're good to go. But then, we hit a snag with the bank's reply. Turns out there's an issue with my credit, so we can't get the loan. That shouldn't be possible. Let's look into it. That's why we came to talk to Kawamura, right?
I get the gist. I'll look into the credit issue myself. That aside, how do we cover the funding gap for opening the cafe?
Our savings alone won't be enough. The scale would shrink a lot. And so, we decided to go for crowdfunding. We've already set up Hope Cafe as a nonprofit, and we have some capital. No reason we can't raise the rest online. And so, we decided to go for crowdfunding. Is this okay for the homepage top page?
Would love to hire a pro, but hopefully this is acceptable for a nonprofit.
Struggling through unfamiliar web design, we somehow built the Hope Cafe site. And the crowdfunding began. Congrats on the crowdfunding success. Cheers. Cheers. Honestly, I'm relieved it went so smoothly.
Kawamura said it probably blew up because nonprofits doing concept cafes are super rare.
Either way, now the funding issue is solved. Let's party tonight. It had been 6 months since we started prepping, but now everything was in place. After several more months of prep, we finally opened the cafe. Because a nonprofit running a concept cafe is rare, media came right after opening. It was featured as a new kind of welfare base. Yes, at Hope Cafe, our staff and volunteers act as the cast. And most of the profits go towards supporting kids in care facilities, or who grew up in them. I answered the interview nervously, blushing. I realized once I actually wore it, I really don't suit the butler outfit. Even the AD asked, "Are you cross-dressing?" If I were built like Takeru, I'd look great in it, I thought, glancing his way. For example, just 1 cup of this tea, tea for the future, helps provide a notebook for a child. Takeru probably sensed I needed help and stepped in. He made a perfect butler. Maybe it's because he worked in restaurants. His explanation flowed like water. About a month after the interview aired, the cafe was booming. Maybe thanks to the coverage.
People say TV is dying, but it still has major influence.
Yeah, we suddenly got a flood of customers after that. Mayumi, who works at Hope Cafe and is also a regular, came again today.
Still, Joru stood out more than you, Aoi.
Well, he does look better in the butler outfit.
Oh, that's not true. You look beautiful too, Aoi.
Beautiful's not really a compliment for a butler. Welcome back, master. At that voice, I looked to the door. New customers had come in.
Welcome back, Master. Right this way, please.
Seeing the couple confused by the unique greeting, Sakura quickly steps in to assist. New customers, an uncommon sight here, a middle-aged couple.
Please have a seat here. I'll bring the menu shortly.
Sakura, with her long skirt flowing as she walks, looked graceful. This is what beautiful really means. After watching Sakura for a moment, I took out my pocket watch. It's almost time for the charity auction, so I'm going to get ready.
All right, good luck.
Seeing me off, Mayumi stayed seated as I headed to the back to prepare the items. The auction that sells kids' artwork from the facility is one of the cafe's most popular events. And just as I checked today's items and returned to the hall.
Aoi! Aoi, is that you? It's your father!
Huh? No, that's not. Wait, Dad? Hearing that voice, I turned to see Takeru flustered, bringing tea to that couple from earlier.
You've grown up so well. Even opened a cafe that's on TV. That's our son for you.
No, I'm not.
I've always wanted to see you, Aoi. I saw you on TV and...
Mom? Dad? Mine? Really? My thoughts froze. The memory of my parents had already faded almost completely. I'd never really wanted to see them, but when they appeared before me, I felt shaken. They must have thought Takeru, who stood out on TV, was me.
Hey, just a little is fine. Can you lend us some money? We're having a hard time right now.
With those words, the emotional turmoil vanished in an instant. You came here to ask for money? So you didn't come to see me at all. I'll take it from here, Takeru. Seems like these are my guests. Aoi?
Huh? Aoi? What's going on?
What do you think? Your son isn't me. I'm just his friend. You really can't recognize your own kid after all these years?
No. The government took you away from us. Wouldn't let us see you. That's why.
Yes, we really always loved you.
If they'd said that before asking for money, maybe I'd have faltered, but now it just sounded fake. While I said nothing and stared down at them, a voice called out from behind.
Then why did you leave Aoi to starve? When I first met Aoi, he was so thin and underdeveloped it was heartbreaking. That was because we were poor. We had no choice. Oh, that's strange.
This time, Kawamura, who just happened to be hanging around the cafe, joined in.
At the time, you should have inherited a fortune from your grandfather, right?
How do you...
Well, I had my reasons to look into it. Most likely, you got carried away with the easy money, lost control of your life, and ended up abandoning your kid.
Gah.
My father's silence said it all.
That's not true, Aoi.
Mom, Dad, there's no point in saying anything now. Just because our nonprofit made a profit doesn't mean we can split it among ourselves. We only receive minimum wages as staff, so there's no extra money at all. So asking me for money is pointless.
Yeah, you're really going to ignore your parents when we're in trouble?
That's right.
Damn it. Like it or not, you'll end up coughing up the money.
Suddenly, my father slammed the table in frustration. The entire cafe fell silent, including the charity auction that had just begun on stage. Is it because of that debt under my name? Hearing my words, my parents looked startled. Truth is, I was planning to go see you myself. You saved me the trouble by showing up. And luckily, Kawamura was here too. I shook my head with a sigh and continued. Causing a scene in the cafe isn't good manners, but how about you join us for a little show as punishment? Telling my parents that, I spun around on the spot. The earlier ruckus had drawn the attention of the whole cafe to our table. Everyone, today we've got a special surprise performance. A reality show exposing the truth about my parents. Please enjoy. I shouted that and signaled to Kawamura. Applause rose from the customers. The cafe music switched from cheerful classical to comical waltz. Then, Sakura took an envelope from Kawamura and began.
Greetings, dear guests, and a special welcome to the VIP parents. Now here we have a copy of a loan contract. Whose name do you think is on it? A. The parents themselves. B. Our Hope Cafe. C. Our innocent chairperson, Aoi.
Voices from the crowd began to call out answers.
The correct answer is C. Our dear parents took out loans in Aoi's name and treated themselves to luxury suites. But don't worry, we'll wash away all those shady debts with some tea.
As Sakura spoke, the maids continued their tea-pouring performance around the parents.
Gah, quit messing around.
The parents blushed, but the laughter from the customers overwhelmed them. This time, Takeru stood on stage in a butler outfit, wearing a cape and holding a cane. The screen behind him displayed a land deed. This here is the deed to the land our dear parents used as loan collateral. But who owns it really? When Takeru pointed his cane at the parents, the screen switched to the grandfather's will. It stated that the land would be passed down to me once I became an adult. As the audience gasped, Takeru approached the parents and asked humorously, Dear parents, using this land as collateral, it's like a magic trick. But too bad, a skilled butler always sees through the trick. The land belongs to Aoi. As for you two, look, empty-handed. Takeru pulled out a red handkerchief and waved it in front of them, transforming it into a paper that read, Invalid Contract.
We didn't do anything wrong.
When my father shouted, the cafe BGM stopped abruptly, then Kawamura stepped onto the stage.
I'd really prefer not to have to explain the obvious. You two used a stand-in for your son to fraudulently deceive a trust bank, executed a fake will-based trust, and stole the land. I guess you used the same stand-in to take out loans too? Aoi asked me to look into it after he noticed his credit report was a mess.
Who the hell are you?
Kawamura chuckled softly.
A lawyer.
I got my administrative scrivener license in high school and then joined a law firm. Kawamura was my senior there, and she's still an active lawyer. That shook my parents, and they stood up from their seats. It's a shame we had to reunite like this after so long. I told them quietly, then snapped my fingers. At that signal, the staff shouted in unison.
Time to exit the premises.
Overwhelmed by boos from the customers and cheerful staff, my parents left the cafe dejectedly. Today's mess was solved thanks to our bond. We'll keep working hard for the kids' smiles. After my parents left, I called out to the customers and wrapped up the show.
Good job, Aoi. You've grown into someone admirable.
When I turned, I saw Mayumi with tears in her eyes, kindly praising me. Later, based on my report, my parents were arrested and prosecuted for fraud. As the investigation continues, the fake me will probably get caught too. And the land I inherited from my grandfather came back to me. I guess Grandpa really was looking out for me. Hope Cafe plans to renovate the building on that land into a new cafe with a different concept. Naturally, it's not going to be a cross-dressing boys' cafe. Still, why would your parents take out more loans if they already had an inheritance? They probably burned through it all.
Having too much money doesn't always bring happiness.
That's not a problem for us. We don't take any executive pay. Just regular staff wages, huh? Sorry I made it into a nonprofit. What are you talking about? Helping people and working together as the three of us? That's the best. That said, maybe it's time for you two to move things forward. You've been eyeing Sakura during work a lot lately. I've noticed.
I wouldn't mind, but are you sure, Takeru? She was your first love, right?
I've already moved on. Actually, if you two get together, Howie would be my sister. Brother. Takeru, your breathing's creepy. But actually, you were my first love too. When you gave me that candy, the world suddenly had color.
We've kind of felt like family all this time, but I love you, Aoi. I'm sure I really do. So if that's what you want...
A sudden change in our relationship is scary, so can we take it slow?
Yeah, I'd like that.
They say children grow even without parents, but only if they get the right kind of love from those around them.
Oh, they're getting me with these episodes recently. 3 children growing up as an orphan, and then making their own nonprofit organization. It's so cute. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this episode as well, and I will see you next time. Bye!